It is no secret this city has been rocked by a number of factors in the last 5 years. Depending on whom you ask, those issues were either preventable or beyond the city's control. Either way, Portland finds itself digging out of a big hole, hoping to get back to the glory days that had this city at the top of the pedestal. For the past 6 months, we've been documenting what goes on in this neighborhood. It encompasses Burnside and 11th, around to Broadway and Washington. And it's emblematic of the issues facing the rest of the city. As you'll see tonight, the people who live and work here are hopeful that the comeback has begun. Like many neighborhoods in Portland's core, these people have seen it all. From the protests that often led to riots following the death of George Floyd, to the failed Measure 110 experiment and fentanyl fallout and everything in between. With a 35-story Ritz-Carlton as the backdrop, this is a neighborhood in transition. You will see some homeless camps here, and neighbors complain about drug dealing. And much like opinions about Portland weather, some will tell you the neighborhood is great. Others say it's not. Ravid Hen owns the Fat Monkey Schnitzel food cart. We first heard from her in May. She hadn't been in this spot long, but she knew right away she didn't like it.
I live in Portland for 14 years, and I knew it's bad. Didn't know how bad, till I came here 2 weeks ago.
She told us she can't work here by herself and has had to lock herself inside her food cart.
People doing drugs, people sexually assaulting other homeless people, everything.
Lorenzo Tejas says he spends about 5 days a week in this neighborhood. He visits the taco stands for lunch. He feels the homeless situation and the fentanyl use have decreased, depending on the time of day.
Maybe not at night, like the early mornings but like right now, it's perfectly safe.
I got off the Amtrak 2 weeks ago.
We came across these three people. They tell me they're homeless and are headed to a neighborhood day shelter. They say they feel safe in this neighborhood.
I'm armed and dangerous, so if somebody,
I
do. We're okay, but I always keep an eye on what's going on,
That day shelter, BHRC, or the Behavioral Health Resource Center, they serve about 100 people a day, giving them a short break from living on the street. Some area businesses pushed back at first, worried about some of the issues the clientele would bring. 99% of the shelter staff have lived experience with either substance abuse disorder or mental health challenges. Miranda Grimaldi is Director of Programming and Operations here.
We've worked really hard in the last couple of years to build community and relationship with our neighbors. We host a Good Neighbor meeting every month. So we meet with the Ritz-Carlton, Underwear for You store, and different people who are in neighborhood coalitions.
Come in here, how you doing, man?
Outreach is a big part of what they do, just simply letting people know they're here. But the brick and mortar on Southwest Park is where they can dive into what people really need.
Anyone who has ever tried to access detox services without an email, without a home address, without a phone number, can really tell you how truly impossible and daunting that feels. And so by giving them a space to access those, we are leaving people with hope every day.
And some of that future is being churned up as we speak. This is the landing spot for Darcel 15 Plaza, Portland's newest park. It's expected to be completed by spring. Many neighbors hope it's the nexus between old and new.
So this is a more intimate version.
You can kind of stretch out a little bit?
Yeah, I'm 6 foot and it's not a problem.
Michael Lutz already sees the script changing. He works in a world of silver screens where people can escape for a couple of hours in the middle of the neighborhood.
Here's your tickets, and you guys will be in Theater 6 all the way to the end and just to the left.
Lutz and his co-workers at Living Room Theater in Portland have seen it all, both in the movies and on the streets outside.
And just need a signature on here, please.
They've been in the epicenter of much of the city's drama over the past 5 years, with drug use and homelessness right out their front door.
It's definitely obvious that it's getting better.
But like the movies, scenes change.
It's getting busier. There's definitely an uptake. People are feeling safer downtown. Our business is doing well, so we're enjoying that.
And the moviegoers seem to be noticing too. On this July day, Fantastic Four and Superman are the big hits. And Michael Cerna didn't feel he needed a Cape Crusader to get him to the theater.
Well, we live downtown, so we've seen the progress of all the efforts of the city that they're doing. It has its moments, but we don't feel unsafe walking around downtown.
Michael Lutz says there was a time when people would call first to see if it was safe to come downtown. He attributes much of the improvement to the Portland Clean and Safe, a crew that works 7 days a week, maintaining the cleanliness in the heart of the city. He says beefed up police presence has helped too. At the end of the day, it's all about the customers feeling confident that things are safer now, that they can put their worries aside and focus on the important things at Living Room Theater, like choosing butter or no butter on their popcorn.
Oh, we've got the best popcorn around.
Kirkpatrick can't help but appreciate a day like this. After all, this is his spot, whenever the weather is nice, directly across from Powell's. On this August day, the area is booming. From here, Kirkpatrick sees all kinds. As far as feeling safe, it varies by the day.
There's a lot of folks with needs who maybe aren't being met, and that affects folks. But I know that city government's trying, and I know that Mayor Wilson's doing a lot. So. Again, I think we're on the upswing. I feel good.
Eric Smith is cruising up the street on his Lime scooter as he makes his way through the neighborhood. He spends a lot of time here, has witnessed a bit of a transformation.
I feel like downtown's slowly and starting to come back alive.
Do you feel safe down here?
Sometimes. Sometimes I do worry about my safety, but at the same time, it depends on the situation. I always notice that it tends to be when people are having more of a bad day, you have to be more vigilant, have your head on a swivel. But most of the time I do feel safe. It's not much out here that scares me.
No doubt Portland's reputation has taken a big hit following 100 nights of protests seen by the entire country. Out-of-town visitors to this neighborhood have heard it too. Do they feel safe? It really depends.
It just seemed like a beautiful place to be.
You're looking at 3 sisters and 1 sister-in-law, all visiting from Houston, Texas in July. They'd heard about the good weather, tasty food, and fun times. In their short couple-of-day trip to Portland, there was nothing that alarmed them on the streets.
And we're from a big city as well, so we know what it's like. This is not unfamiliar. Yeah, pretty similar.
Contrast that with Paola and Natalie, sisters from Utah, in town for an August concert. They were staying downtown, but would get a place outside the city next time.
We were surprised, honestly, at first when we got here, just to see like all the homeless and like how there's like a lot of drugs being used here, honestly.
Surprised us
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Felt dangerous.
You didn't feel safe?
Yes.
So are you excited to get back to Utah then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Homesick.
When we come back,
Got the iced almond milk, vanilla matcha ready.
a neighborhood coffee shop owner and the brewing shift in his business. Many who live and work nearby have watched with a wary eye, hoping the worst days are behind them.
Is this a line, like an outer lining?
For Blair Sturmkorb and Viv Weinstein, this is more than just a job. At 2nd Street, a secondhand store on Southwest Washington in Portland, the place is humming with people looking for that right piece of clothing or accessory. Blair and Viv have seen a change of more than just clothing. they've got a front row seat.
So what I think is that it used to be, I think when we first opened, it used to be like pretty sketch out here.
Notice she said used to be. Both Blair and Viv feel things are improving in their neighborhood. And a lot of that has to do with more businesses taking root nearby.
I feel like with this neighborhood, it's really starting to head to a really nice place, and I'm stoked about it.
Foot traffic here is fairly lively, and those we found visiting the shops see the change.
I think things are improving in the sense that as a community, I think that people are looking out for each other, knowing of the danger in any city.
Now is the time for our community to rediscover downtown.
Stephen Lynn has watched this neighborhood evolve over the last 18 years as owner of Under You for Men. He's watched people smoke drugs out his front door and experienced the constant theft of his store. He's been a vocal critic of the deterioration of the city he so loves. I remember being surprised when he told us this in June.
It's really amazing to see the transformation over the last year, 18 months especially.
The transformation, in his eyes, it was finally happening.
We don't have the fentanyl struggle as much as we used to. It's still part of our community. We have a police force that's responding, a DA that's responding. Shoplifting is down. Downtown's kind of vibrant again. I'm kind of encouraged.
Courier Coffee is a popular spot in the neighborhood. Customers get a caffeine lift while also watching the traffic go by on Oak Street. Joel Domris owns it, has been in the spot since 2008. He says the streets outside his shop have been uncommonly clear the last 3 months. He's seen a lot through his big window. He's also watched a shift in his business.
Looking at before and after pandemic, it's really hard to tell because there's nobody working downtown. All the offices are empty. Now we've moved from downtown like work people to purely like tourism or more like destination kind of coffee shop.
750 is your total?
A different market where hopes and dreams hinge on city leaders making the right moves to get this part of town back to where it belongs.
Beijing chicken, Mandarin chicken, a lot of people like it.
Run Zens is counting on a recovery too. She owns the Beijing House food cart in this location for 4 years and has watched her clientele disappear as the surrounding office workers work from home.
So slow in the Portland now.
She says things are slow, but has no plans to move her food cart elsewhere.
I wait for the customer come back, you know? But yeah, wait for the customer come back.
You're praying the customers come back.
Yeah, because you know, I don't know where I going because I'm older, you know, it's a find a job, it's very difficult.
Several area food cart owners we spoke with say the homelessness situation and the impact on their business is improving, but far from perfect.
No, I'm happy.
You're happy?
Yeah.
This Korean cart owner tells us he sees fights just feet away often. Still, things are better. He plans to stay.
I love Oregon.
Alongside the progress is despair. Just outside the fence where Darcel Plaza is under construction, you'll find Larry, who says he's been sleeping on the sidewalk in this spot for a year. He tells me even when the plaza is completed, he's not going anywhere. Do you think you'll stay here?
Yeah.
You will?
Yeah.
Do you want to find shelter?
Not really.
You want to stay here?
Yeah.
How come?
I like it here.
You'd rather be on the sidewalk than in shelter?
Yeah.
Homelessness is still the #1 issue we hear from people who live and work in this neighborhood. The problem is still front and center, especially when it comes to dealing with people like Larry who refuse to help. And that's what the Behavioral Health Resource Center is hoping to change. You met Miranda Grimaldi earlier. She and 99% of the staff here have battled either substance abuse disorder or mental health challenges.
My parents both suffered from substance use challenges, incarceration, and addiction is truly a family disease. And it trickled down to me, and I've had my own challenges with substance use, mental health, and homelessness. And so being able to be a part of the bigger picture and be a guiding light for someone is incredible.
She's confident that experience will be a guide to deal with those in the streets who need someone who's been through it. And that's what everybody in this neighborhood is counting on, real lived experience creating a bond of trust.
I think being able to leverage my own experience with the needs of someone else and find the middle ground, because nobody's experience is ever truly the same, but the foundation is. And so being able to use those to connect with people on a human level and find out what they need to be better or to be okay.
Olivia Clark is new to the Portland City Council, but her experience working on boards and building coalitions to navigate the major issues facing communities throughout the state runs deep. On this October day, she's walking the streets in the neighborhood we've been following, which is her district. She knows there's tons of work ahead, but despite this day's stormy weather, she sees the sunshine at the end of this very long tunnel.
Absolutely. It's going to be revitalized. In fact, it already is revitalizing. It's great with the Darcel Plaza coming, which is going to be really activating this area. But you can see the changes now. There are more people downtown. Things are feeling better. So no, I'm really excited about this whole district that you've been talking about.
She also knows this is a pivotal point in Portland's history as the city tries to get more commercial properties activated downtown. She supports the mayor's efforts to find more homeless housing and his plan this month to issue citations for people unwilling to go to shelters. She would also like to see more police officers so that businesses like the Fat Monkey stay in town. With all that still on the docket, has this neighborhood and the city as a whole really turned a corner? She says for the most part, yes.
You know, I was just hosting the League of Oregon Cities had a conference here just a few weeks ago where there were like 140 cities out of Oregon represented here and 450 people. And they saw what's going on and they're going home and telling everybody that, hey, Portland, it's great, it's safe, you know, come on down. It is changing.
When we come back, what does the future look like for this neighborhood? Will businesses stay? So here we are, the third week of October in the corner of Southwest Park and Ankeny. The air is brisk, the weather's definitely changing. Here's what's not changing, the trouble faced by so many of these food carts here. Remember in April, we talked to the owners of the Fat Monkey Schnitzel food cart. They had so many problems back then. Well, guess what? It's even worse now, and they want out.
I have no solution. I have no idea.
Barack Hen is one of the owners of the Fat Monkey, and he says the trouble is constant.
Yeah, even worse.
It's worse now?
Yeah. They got attacked here. Somebody was high, whatever, he came and he threw some stuff inside the cart. The amount of drugs, I don't bring my kids here to eat in my own business because I'm scared.
And because of that, he's planning to move his food cart to the suburbs, maybe Hillsborough or Beaverton. He says Portland is not a safe place to do business.
There's no one street that you can say, oh, over here nothing happened. It doesn't exist.
Michael Engel is also one of the Fat Monkey Schnitzel owners. He says he calls clean and safe crews 4 or 5 times a day to clear out some of the people he says are dealing and doing drugs just feet from his window, and that is killing his business.
You are seeing people that are walking, looking around, seeing what's going on, and they're not stopping to eat here. They will go somewhere else because of the environment. If that won't change, then nothing, it won't work.
Stephen Lynn wants it to work too. Remember when we last heard from him earlier this year, he was brimming with optimism. Since then, he announced his semi-retirement. He's also building a new store for his employees up on 10th and Morrison. Is he still so optimistic? Mostly.
But you know, we still have our problems. Haven't quite seen the mayor's homeless shelter program really make a difference yet. I'm still a little optimistic that that can happen by his December deadline, but I'm not positive that's actually going to make that big of a difference.
Still, he sees an opportunity for young entrepreneurs to start something new downtown, especially with the high vacancy rates.
I feel really good about what's happening, especially here in the West End. Luxury shopping is not a dirty word. There's a lot of good business in luxury shopping, but I'm also seeing these small shops, my own employees reopening this business in a new location. That's an important future for Portland.
We also wanted to check in on Larry, who was still camped out near the Darcel Plaza construction site. When we found him on this chilly October morning, he was bundled up in a blanket. He told me he was actually planning to leave this spot, possibly in a month, to a place he says he found in Gresham. He says life has been tough.
All right.
And I hope next time we come you aren't here.
Okay.
You may have heard the saying, in every community there is work to be done. That can also be said for every neighborhood. And this one is trying to find its way back, whether it's the people trying to run a business here or those living on the street like Larry. Progress involves detours, pauses, even moments of regression. What happens next here depends on all these people and the city leaders they look to for support. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody, and good night.